welcome to Sherry's Kitchen. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Sherry. Some call me Nana and some call me Mama D. But whoever you are, just come on into my kitchen and we're going to have some fun today. Okay, we're back. And this is our fourth video in our Instant Pot series. But I'm going to make a change up. Right today we are going to be doing pasta or spaghetti, and we're also going to be doing a soup. But from here on, we are going to change into food storage because we're entering into the time where people are growing their gardens and they're trying to stock up and store their food. And so we're going to postpone, after this particular video, we're going to postpone it until the fall when most people are using their Instant Pots for nice, warm food. Okay? So today it's going to be pasta and soup. All right, our first item that we're going to be doing today is the pasta. But we're going to be doing spaghetti, okay, today. Most people and children love to have spaghetti, but you can use any type of pasta, the spirals, you can use the rigatoni or any of those there. But I'm going to be doing the spaghetti today. So the first thing we did was to warm our Instant Pot up. We put it on saute mode. And then as it gets warm, you can feel it's warm now, and I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom so that we can saute first. Now the reason we are going to be sauteing our vegetables is because it's going to help bring out the flavor, okay? So we have some green peppers, red peppers, and yellow peppers. Now these were the peppers I had frozen from the garden, and so we're going to be putting those into our sauce. And you're going to hear a little splash because there's some water left in it. I'm going to spill out a little bit of the water, okay? Oops, and I lost some of that too. But anyway, here we go. It's going to make a little splashy noise. Okay, so our peppers and our onions. Now there's no set rule of peppers and onions. Normally you can do as little or as more if you like. Okay? So I'm going to let those saute, and then I'm going to be adding my soy curls. Now the soy curls are a replacement for the beef or the meatballs or any kind of meat that people normally use in spaghetti. And we're going to put those in after our peppers and onions saute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back once this has been finished sauteing, and then we're going to add our soy curls. Okay, our onions and our peppers the onions are translucent now, so we're ready to begin to add our soy curls. Now, you don't have to really cook the peppers and onions first, but by cooking them, it enhances the flavor to give it to the actual whole dish. Okay? So we are going to put in our soy curls, and it's about a cup of dried soy curls. And I like to take my masher here and break it up as they are cooking. Just to break it up into smaller pieces. If you're familiar with soy curls, you know sometimes there's some long pieces in there. Okay? But I'm going to break these up. This was made for meat, but I use it for soy curls. Okay? Alrighty. Looks pretty good. Okay? So, next we're going to put in our sauce and our water. Now remember, because we're not boiling the spaghetti, we're going to be using a little bit more water so that the pasta can absorb it and not be so dry when it's in the finished product. Okay? So we're just going to add about a half a cup of water right now. We're going to add a half a cup right now so we can scrape the little bits on the bottom. Okay? So we're going to stir that up. And it's going to cool it down a bit. And then we're going to add, now with the soy curls, what I did was, I didn't mention, I did pre-season them. And I use a seasoning, I have a taco sauce seasoning that I make myself. One day I'll be able to give you a recipe for that, or maybe I might put it in the description box. But anyway, I make my own taco seasoning, and I season the soy curls with that first. You don't have to. You can put it into the sauce, and it will bring out the flavor as it comes together. But I did pre-season my soy curls. Okay? All right. Okay, our vegetables are pretty much cooked now, and the soy curls are pretty much seasoned and nice and tender. So we're going to add some of the seasonings, such as our onion powder first. Now I'm putting it in now again because when you warm these seasonings up, and this is garlic, when you warm them up, it actually enhances their flavor when cooking. Okay? So then I'm going to mix it up good so all the pieces get coated with those seasonings. And we're going to put in a little bit of salt. Salt is according to your taste. You may like less, you may like more. Hopefully less. Okay? So I put in some salt. Now I'm going to put in the water first. Okay? And the water is going to be part of what is necessary to hydrate the pasta. Okay? So now we have that going. And we're going to put in sauce. Now I believe I have more sauce in here than I should, but always good to have more than not enough. So I'm going to add about, it says 24 ounces of tomato sauce, but I'm going to be using most of this, but not all of it. Alrighty? So I'm going to add that. We want to make sure there is enough liquid to cover the pasta. So no matter what type of pasta you're using, you want to make sure there's enough liquid. Not just only to cover it, but as it hydrates, it's going to need more water than if you did it by itself. Okay? All right, we're going to come back and put the pasta in. Okay, so it's important for us to note that when we put the pasta in, this is a time you don't do any more stirring, okay? I'm going to break it in half, and I'm using a gluten-free called rice and lentil pasta, and I'm going to sprinkle it on the bottom. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to push the pasta under the water, but I'm not going to stir it. But you want to make sure that the pasta is under all of the liquid. All right, so we're ready now to put our lid on. And so we want to make sure we put the lid on before we press pressure. Now remember, I have a couple different types of Instant Pots. With this particular one, I don't have to set it for sealing because it's automatically sealed. And I push this button if I didn't want to use the seal and use the venting. Okay, so this recipe calls for it to be pressure cooked. Oops, I got to cancel this one first. Then do pressure. And we're going to do this for 8 minutes. Okay? And that's all it takes. It's 8 minutes. And then it'll be ready for us to open and to stir it in. Now, a lot of people, when they eat pasta, they like to have the pasta separate and the sauce poured on top. But then some people like it together like this. So this is a one-pot dish. So you don't have a pot for the pasta and a pot for the sauce. Okay? And so we'll bring you back when it is finished in the pot, and then we'll take it out and show you the finished product. Okay? Okay, now we are on to our second Instant Pot food, and that's going to be a soup. Okay? Some people like soup all year round, and some people like soup only in the wintertime. My husband was one of those type of people. He did not like having soup in the summertime because he felt like that was a hot food. But anyway, so for those of you who love it all year round, you can use it now. Or for those of you who want it in the colder climate time, you can use it then. Okay? Now this is a basic soup recipe. The ingredients can be changed. They don't always have to be exactly, but the important part is the amount of liquid and also the timing with the type of vegetables that you have in here. So we're going to start off with the same as we did with the pasta dish, and we're going to put olive oil is what I use in the bottom to saute again our vegetables, our peppers and onions, okay? And we also have celery. Those are our peppers that were frozen from our garden. And then we're going to have some celery. And then we're going to have some onion. And again, we're going to cook these until they are tender and translucent. Okay, so we're going to mix them up. The same as before, we're going to cook them until they're tender and the onions are a little translucent, okay? So I'm not going to have you wait till that happens. So we'll come back and I'll put the rest of the ingredients in. Okay, going back to the pasta dish, the spaghetti dish, and you can hear the buzzer just went off, so it's ready. Now the reason I'm not letting this stay on warm and until I'm finished with the soup is because we don't want the pasta to sit in there and get softer, okay? So this particular recipe is called a quick release. And so we're going to get a cloth and cover it and let the steam out so that it can release its pressure, okay? Not staying. Okay, so the steam is still coming out of the pot with the pasta in it, and I'm waiting for the little silver button to go down, okay? Which should be soon. In the meantime, we're still stirring our peppers and our onions and our celery in the soup pot, okay? So while we're waiting, I'm going to throw in a few herbs in the soup pot, okay? Because we've got a few more seconds on that. Again, I have a little bit of onion powder or granules, and I have some garlic. Again, remember we're putting it in now because the flavor is enhanced as it's heated, and a little bit of salt, just a little, okay? And then we're going to stir that up. We're also going to put in some bouillon cubes. These are some veggie bouillon cubes. I'm going to add 2 of them, and we're going to break them up as they're in here as they get warm, okay? Now I am going to add a little bit of water to this just to break the bouillon cubes up, all righty? Okay, so while those are breaking up, we are going to open up our pasta dish. The little float valve has gone down. Alrighty, now we're going to see what we have. Remember when we open the lid, we always open it away from ourselves because of the amount of steam it lets out at one time, okay? Now we're going to stir it up and see what we have. Alrighty, here we go. Look at that. We have our pasta all tender and ready. And it's up to you. Next time when you have it, you can eat less sauce, you know, or this way it looks more soupy, but as it settles, it's going to be and absorb more. As the pasta absorbs more of the liquid, it'll get thicker. But right now, if you want to serve it, you can. But it's a little on the thin side, but you can let it get thicker as it cools, okay? All right, now our bouillon cubes have dissolved. And now we're going to add our soy curls. Now at this point, you can add beans. You don't have to add the soy curls if you don't have them or if you don't like them. You can just add beans if you like. That's just to add a little bit more protein to your dish, okay? So now that we put that in, we're going to start putting in a little bit more seasoning. I have some basil here, just a little bit for flavor. And then we're going to add our carrots to the soup. Now remember, we're still on saute mode. And then we're going to add our potatoes. And you can cut them however you want them, big cubes, or if you do smaller cubes, know that it's going to cook faster, okay? Then we're going to put in our cabbage. Now this is a half of a medium-sized cabbage, small to medium size. And we're going to put that in. Just going to mix it all together. And then we're going to do our liquid. We're going to do a tomato coconut milk liquid. Okay. Now we're going to put our tomato sauce in. We don't need maybe all of this, but I kind of judge it accordingly. Messy, pour it in like that. I'm going to mix it up here. Now, if you like a little bit thinner sauce, I would suggest you add more water. And I think I'm going to put more water in here. A little more sauce, but also a little bit more water. You be the judge as you see it mixing in. Because remember, those potatoes have to cook, the carrots have to cook, and they are going to be absorbing more of the liquid. So I'm going to put in about a cup or two of liquid. Here's a cup. And I'm going to put a little bit more liquid in it. And now our special ingredient is coconut milk. I'm using the organic Thai coconut milk. I love the flavor combination of sauce and coconut milk. And remember, this is a soup. And this is going to cook on high pressure for 5 minutes. And for seasonings, you can alter the seasonings according to what you like. It doesn't have to be what I put in. You can omit the coconut milk. You don't even have to put that in. I just like it because I like the change of flavor when I make a soup that has sauce in it. It just gives another little flavor to it, okay? And also what you can do is once this is all done, you can add some kale instead of the cabbage. You can do spinach if you like, okay? So now we're gonna put our lid on and we're gonna set it for 5 minutes. All right, now we're gonna put our lid on. And again, now this particular bottle, the 8-quart, I have to put it on sealing, okay? And it's going to be, we're going to turn the saute mode off. So we're going to cancel that. And then remember, this one here is a manual. And that's the way they do the pressure. So it's already 7 minutes. I'm going to reduce it to 5 minutes. And there we are, set it to go. Okay? So we'll be back when it's finished. Okay, welcome back. Our soup is now ready. Now in this recipe, it was an NPR and a QPR, meaning the natural pressure release was to be for 10 minutes or 12. And then QPR is when you flip the switch here to venting and let the remaining steam come out, okay? So let's see what we have. Remember, open it up always away from yourself so that you don't get burned. Alrighty, now we're gonna look at what we have. We have soup. You wanna come a little closer? Alrighty. Looking good to me. Those potatoes and peppers and the cabbage looks really good, okay? And we're going to take some out to serve, okay? All that lusciousness. And you see how the coconut milk kind of mellowed in to the sauce, where it's not as pale looking as it was when we first started mixing everything together. Alrighty, here's our soup. I'm going to clean up our edges a little bit. Here we go. Here are our final 2 products. We have our pasta, spaghetti, with soy curls, and we have our soup with cabbage and carrots and potatoes and soy curls and seasonings, and this is ready to go, okay? So, if you like this video, please share it with others. And also, if you want to be notified of any more future videos I do, hit the notification bell and hit the like bell. If you don't like it, hit the down bell, okay? But I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you try it. God bless you all, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye-bye.